The Old Testament was written in Hebrew, so for Genesis 1:1 we had to use Hebrew gematria. The New Testament was written in Greek, so for John 1:1 we'll use Greek gematria. Let's then remember the gematria table for the Greek alphabet. The method is as we already described for the Hebrew alphabet. To the first letter alpha, we assign number 1. To the second beta, we assign number 2. To the third gamma, number 3. And so on until we reach number 10, and then jumping from 10 to 10 until 100, and then from 100 to 100. In Greek, there's a peculiarity. There's no letters for numbers 6 and 90. This is because these two numbers were assigned to two letters that were no more in use by the time of Jesus. Remember that Greek was already a very old language by the time of Socrates and Plato, who lived about 4 centuries before Christ. As we did for the case of Genesis 1:1, written in Hebrew, let's do now for the first John 1:1 written in Greek. We obtain a similar table, but now is a little bit bigger, because the first John 1:1 has 17 words. The structure of the table is similar to the one we have seen for Genesis 1:1. The first column of the table shows a word written in Greek. The second column shows its transliteration to English. In the third column, we see the words spelled in Greek, and in the fourth column, the respective values of its letters. In the fifth and sixth columns, the sum and the product of these letters. For example, the fifth word of John 1:1 is logos, that usually is translated as word in this verse, and it refers to the Word of God, who is the Son of God and who is Christ. For now, coming back to our gematria computation, the Greek word logos has 5 letters: lambda, omicron, gamma, omicron, and sigma, whose respective values are 30, 70, 3, 70, and 200. So the sum of the letters is 373, and the product is 88,200,000. We proceed in the same way with the 17 words of the verse John 1:1 to complete the previous table, and we obtain 17 sums and 17 products for this verse, exactly as we had obtained 7 sums and 7 products for the 7 words of Genesis 1:1. We just repeated the same procedure. Let's now compute the 5 values that we defined for the case Genesis 1:1. There were sum of the value of all the words or letters. Now it's a bit longer because it's 17 terms. We have to add 55 plus 719 plus 58 plus 70 plus 373 plus 31, etc. And the result is 3,627. This result is the traditional gematria value of the verse. The number of words, 17. The number of letters, 52. The product of the words, a very large number, 94 octillion, 930 heptillion, 224 sextillion, 139 quintillion, 983 quadrillion, 918 trillion, 429 billion, 785 million, 786,976 times 10 to the 7. The product of the letters, a number that is even larger, 843 quintillion, 624 quadrillion, 145 trillion, 625 billion, 911 million, 83,000, and 8 times 10 to the 55. And we finished. We have computed the 5 relevant values for the verse John 1:1, exactly as we did previously for Genesis 1:1. Now let's go back to our formula. Weight of the letters divided by weight of the words. It is the same formula that we used for Genesis 1:1. You would have every right to think that we were cheating if we used a different formula. Remember that the weight of the letters was the number of the letters multiplied by the product of the letters. As we have 52 letters, and the product of the letters is this large number, we obtain for the weight of the letters the value 52 times this large number equals 43 sextillion, 868 quintillion, 507 quadrillion, 572 trillion, 547 billion, 376 million, 316,416 times 10 to the 55. And for the weight of the words, we have to multiply the number of words, that is 17, by the product of the letters, that is this large number. So the weight of the words is 17 times this slash number equals 1 nonillion, 613 octillion, 813 heptillion, 810 sextillion, 379 quintillion, 726 quadrillion, 613 trillion, 306 billion, 358 million, 378,592 times 10 to the 7th. It's a good time to remember that if we modify just one letter in the verse, we would obtain absolutely different numbers. According to our formula, we just have now to divide the weight of letters by the weight of words to obtain the value of the verse John 1:1. Let's do it. We have to divide this large number by that large number, and we obtain the result 2.71, 83, 12, 81, 21, etc. times 10 to the 40. This value is very similar to the true value of the number e. Let's compare both. John 1:1, 2.71, 83, 12, 81, 21, etc. times 10 to the 40. True value of e, 2.71, 82, 81, 82, 84, etc. infinitely. So, as we obtained in Genesis 1:1 a number that was equal to pi to the 5th significant figure, in John 1:1 we just obtained a number that is equal to e to the 5th significant figure. Is this a new coincidence? The same formula in two verses, and we obtain pi for Genesis 1:1 and e for John 1:1 with this level of precision? Once again we ask, did we cheat with the formula? Did we cheat in other way? It's that everything is just a coincidence. Let's discuss these issues in more detail and with more time in the next episode.